Joining us, ABC News crime and terrorism analyst Brad Garret, who's a former FBI agent. You know, Brad, we say allegedly diseased brain because we don't know if he actually had CTE, which is what he claimed in his suicide note. What do we know about him?
Well, we don't know a whole lot. I mean, to your point, does he have traumatic brain injury? Maybe he does, maybe he doesn't. And I assume if what is true that he had two commitments for 72 hours, I think one in 22 and maybe one in the last year or so, what are those about? Obviously privacy laws preclude the rest of us from knowing what that was about. But even let's just assume for a second that he does have CTE. That's not going to keep him from buying a firearm. And the way he purchased this firearm, apparently, according to police interviews, is he bought the M4, which is an AR-type weapon, from his boss at the Horseshoe Casino in Las Vegas, who apparently purchased it legally. That's totally lawful for him to privately sell that weapon to this shooter, because the law allows private sales, and in many states there's no background requirement. But even if there was a background requirement, there's not going to be any information about his mental health status, because the reality is the law is that if you've been adjudicated by a judge as mentally ill, and those records get into the state police, and you buy a weapon where it's required there be a background check, he could have been blocked. But in his case, he's never been adjudicated. The reality is few people get adjudicated because it's quite a production to pull that off in court, and typically it just doesn't happen. So I don't see any place where the system, based on how the system is built and structured, that would have stopped him. And clearly he had presence of mind to drive, more than halfway across the country, almost all the way across the country, drive into Manhattan, step out, double parks his vehicle in front of the building, steps out in open space with this M4 and walks into the building and starts slaughtering people. There's really no way to defense against that.
Yeah.
Short of having a building that has prison-like security where you have bulletproof glass, you have basically a trap room between getting into the building but initially leaving the street. I mean, all of that is just not going to be conducive to a high-end high-rise, and probably a place where the rent is the highest in the country.
Yeah. So really, as we talk with Brad Garret, former FBI agent, ABC News crime and terrorism analyst, this one incident really isn't going to change much, will it, in the debate about guns and including people with serious mental health issues? But how about red flag laws? Are we going to see more of those proposed? The ones where a judge can have someone's firearms removed because they've been deemed a danger to themselves or others?
Oh, I mean, red flag, I don't know if Nevada has a red flag law, but let's just say that they do. Yes, but again, you have to have information. Let's just talk about this guy. What information is there out there that the police could even check, unless somebody comes forward and says, hey, I know this guy, I'm related to him, he just bought an M4, he's talking about harming himself or others. Then can law enforcement then do an investigation, then go to a judge and temporarily seize his weapons? The answer is yes. It's a lot of work for the police, who tend to not have the time to do those type of investigations, but obviously they do it in some states. But yeah, that part is there, but it doesn't really. I'm not sure. But the short answer is only based on the information that the three of us have, that would have stopped him.
All right, that is ABC News crime and terrorism analyst Brad Garret, also a former FBI agent. The red flag laws are really interesting, and as he mentioned, they are very, very difficult. There are some city attorneys across the country or district attorneys that are able to use those very effectively. I know in San Diego, one of the most prolific users of red flag laws and very successful with it is the city attorney attorney in San Diego. She is able to get those red flag laws activated and get guns away from people that are a danger. But it is very difficult, and you have to be so careful with that Second Amendment. You are weighing the danger against your rights.
Yeah. So, I guess we all have a responsibility to keep an eye on our friends and neighbors, but also I guess you'd feel a little funky about reporting them too, right?
Right.
Thanks for watching Arizona's Morning News. Click to watch more from KTAR News and hit the button in the middle to subscribe.